Cheers, everybody. How did you like the week one presentation for the NFL season? College football is back, baby. It's back. College football is back. Football is back. The real games are back. I was very surprised to see Boise State lose in this particular fashion. Now, very uncharacteristic things happened in that game. There was a third down. They got the stop, but then it was a late hit after the play on the quarterback. And so what happened? The drive extended and they got a touchdown. And then there's a quarterback lined up as a punter, and the return team wasn't aware that the punter wasn't lined up to punt the ball. It was a quarterback who was lined up to um, receive the snap on the punt formation. That was a fake punt throw, and it led to a Boise State touchdown. To a USF touchdown. Boise State was about to get a touchdown or so before the end of half, and then the running back fumbled. So college football is back. It's a big time upset. Top 25, number 25, Boise State goes down. Is there any more surprises that happened during this week of college football? LSU is going to get the win. That quarterback that they have is experienced. Clemson got destroyed by Texas in the college football playoff. Clemson, can they handle the SEC? We are about to find out. Question marks surrounding Clemson against the SEC. He started games before Arch Manning, but how can he handle a different opponent in a tougher environment? How is he going to handle his first start on the road? It doesn't matter if Will Howard is gone. Ohio State are still Ohio State. That's a very expensive roster. Ohio State are going to match up, if not, could be better than Texas from a talent perspective. And let's not forget, too, that winning a week one marquee college football matchup, losing a week one college football matchup is not the end of the world, because you don't miss out on the national championship. Even if you lose at Columbus, you win the SEC, you get double-digit wins, you still qualify for the college football playoff. So it's not the end of the world for either OSU or Texas if they lose the opening game. But you know that it's early momentum, but at the end of the day, the regular season doesn't mean as much in the past. You lose against Michigan, it doesn't cost you a spot in the national championship game. You can lose to Michigan and still win the national championship. So it's not the end of the world for whoever loses the Clemson, LSU, and Miami, Notre Dame, and Texas OSU games. So that's what I needed to say about does it matter at the end of the day? Not if you can still win your conference and make it to the college football playoff even after losing the opening week of the season. But I do like LSU. I do like the quarterback Nierenberger or Newheis or whatever his name is. He's a good quarterback. The first big game on the road for Arch Manning, and then I know Carson Beck is supposed to be good, but as a Notre Dame fan, the grandson of Lloyd Carr, I think he did well last year, Riley Leonard. But let's face it, he couldn't really make plays in the pocket. Hopefully Carr is much better in the pocket and can make reads and can do all these kinds of things. He just doesn't take off running with the football. So I'll be very excited to see Carr in action, to see how he does. I think he's got some potential. Is Carson Beck good? We'll find out. I think um, that Cam Ward was extraordinary last year on a mediocre team because Miami had no defense. Miami is soft. So Miami's soft. Is the humidity going to make a difference for Notre Dame? I don't think it's going to make that much of a negative difference against Notre Dame. And now it's 30-7. What an upset. USF over Boise State. It's going to be an easier game for Notre Dame next week, obviously, but I still like Boise State's defense. It's Boise State's offense that was kind of underwhelming, that we thought we would see some fireworks, but look at how South Florida did defensively. Look, and the stupid play by the Boise State defender. Anyways, college football is back. You start off with the upset. Who's the guy on Nebraska? Ripien? He's supposed to be really, really good. And this guy was good at Baylor. Matt Rule. The game was at Nebraska, so I think that particular favorite should win. My underdog to win is Clemson. Their odds are underdog, but I think I think LSU got the edge over Clemson, the battle of the Tigers. Well, I did release the week one video. I hope you like the format. I think I think not navigating back and forth between multiple tabs, I think makes this format much easier for the flow of the video. So you're just exiting out of tabs, or you have to create new tabs, whatever. You got 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 tabs. The flow of the video, I think, is much better. I managed to get the week one predictions. 740 was the video. That was how long the video was. There's a few games, obviously, where common sense would dictate that you don't need any numbers to predict the Broncos to beat a rookie quarterback, for example. You don't need any numbers to predict Denver to beat Tennessee. What are they, 9.5 point favorite or something? The Saints ain't got no quarterback, so common sense, right? Cardinals going to beat the Saints, right? We'll see how they do against the Panthers. That game could be 50-50, but they're not losing against New Orleans. They want to make the playoffs. They cannot lose against well, I think he's technically a rookie, but he's a sophomore quarterback. 0-6 as a starting quarterback, Spencer Rattler. He had a couple games. They got 250 yards, but the bottom line is you have to beat that guy. Cardinals never win at New Orleans, so I think a rookie quarterback this time. I think those are going to be the keys to victory. And I initially picked the Chargers to beat the Chiefs, but the momentum of the marriage proposal for Travis and Taylor, I just think that, momentum is on Travis's side. I generally hope it's a genuine marriage. I hope it works out. But Travis I don't know how he can handle being a dad. But I think Travis Kelsey's got to really control his drinking problem. Which, speaking of, this is my first wine glass, I think, since like July 31st. My last sip of alcohol was August the 1st. When I go out to a sports bar, Zip Sports Bar, I like the frozen zipperitas, frozen margaritas. A zipperita is a frozen margarita. So 27 days sober. I'm enjoying the college football. Life is too short. Go out and enjoy a drink. It's going to be easier to get to 30 days next time. I think the only time where I'm going to binge drink, I think, is for the World Cup and, when Gold King LeBron is in the NBA playoffs, right? You need vintage tea for the NBA playoffs, right? If you're all scared that vintage tea is going away, that he ain't going to be all buzzed out for the NBA playoffs, I'm going to be all buzzed out for the NBA playoffs. But on a football Sunday, whatever, on a regular season day, like uh, it ain't happening. I'm never gonna go on binges unless for special occasions. So it's changed here. It's taking a little teeny sips, and that's what this 27-day sober streak. That's what it accomplished. Instead of the big gulps, you get your little small little dipsy gulps like this. I barely I barely had any wine on that sip, but you're supposed to teeny bits, one by one by one. The glass should be going. It should be going away at a very slow pace. You should enjoy this over a couple few hours. So, but yeah, I'm excited for Notre Dame. I hate Ohio State, but I'm gonna pick Ohio State to beat Texas, even though I hate Ohio State and the sports fan side of me would root for Texas, but I'm going to put a bet in on OSU. Okay, OSU loses. You win on the underdog. Underdog pays out more. That's net profit over the OSU and the LSU bets. But first week of NFL season, first week of college football season, the sports book is offering profit boosts. So I'm getting a profit boost with both Ohio State and LSU. So I get the profit boost at OSU on the roughly even money line, and let's say LSU loses, and that's still a profit. Tennessee's not going to lose against Syracuse, right? You can parlay OSU and Tennessee together, right? Tennessee is not losing. Our quarterback, Jelly's playing for Syracuse, but Tennessee is just too good. There's a fly in here. But what had me switch to Kansas City basically was the fact that basically Philadelphia 61 and Andy Reid should remain at 61 losses. So I think I don't take the Chargers lightly at all because Jim Harbaugh's the real fucking deal. This guy is a winner. This guy makes the playoffs. He gets double-digit wins. So I'm not taking the Chargers lightly at all. That's why I consider the Chargers to win. But I think the Chiefs are going to get their ass handed to them against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like the one nemesis of Tom Brady was the New York Giants, right? That was the nemesis for him, was the New York Giants. He couldn't get over, losing. Even there's a couple of times where he lost against the Giants in the regular season. I just think that, losing against the Eagles in Kansas City and losing to them again, it's just the one nemesis for Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have a nemesis in the AFC, but he's got to have one nemesis somewhere. So that team is the Philadelphia Eagles. And so every team's going to win in the AFC West except for the Chargers. But I think the Chargers are going to beat the Raiders in week 2. And the Raiders are not going to be a bad team. So I fully expect the Raiders to win in week 1. Fully expect it. Because they're going to be in playoff contention. If I have them losing against the Chargers, they're not going to start 0-2. There's Travis Kelce engagement. I believe since Travis Hunter is having his first kid, that he's going to have a big game week 1, and Jacksonville is at home. And this is a team that lost many games by one possession. So they're not a bad team. They just had problems closing out close games. So Jacksonville is going to win. I think if the Texans lose against the Rams, then suddenly the Texans are not top dog suddenly in the AFC South by a wide margin because they won their division the last 2 years. I think it was something like 3 out of the last 4 seasons that the Texans won the AFC South. So if the Texans lose against the Rams, and let's say if the Jaguars win week 1, then it keeps the division wide open. So, and I don't think Jacksonville is going to beat the Bengals in week 2. So I think Jacksonville starts out on top in the division. You can't have these divisions. Some divisions will be over, like the AFC East, but that AFC South is going to be much closer than it was in previous years. And I don't think there's any more to add with the Giants and the Commanders. Russell Wilson's career is over. I think teams got the film on Russell Wilson from the second half of the season. He's lost his mobility. Teams did not know how he fit on the Steelers' offense, but basically the numbers make sense. Daniels improves to 10-3 against the NFC. The Giants is under 3, 1-0-3, forms 10-3. So there's no question the Commanders are not going to be upset. But the key number for Thursday night football is number 11, Micah Parsons. So what is the situation? If Washington starts 1-0, are they going to lose against Micah to fall to 1-1? If Packers lose against the Lions, are they going to start 1-1? But then if the Packers win in week 1, will they fall to 1-1 against Washington? So I'm paying a lot of attention to number 11 for that Thursday game between Washington and Green Bay. I think Washington, if they win, they could lose against the Packers. If the Packers lose against the Lions, I think they, for the first win with Micah Parsons, could improve to 1-1. And now the first win against Washington, basically Washington's come up to Dallas. His first win outside of Dallas would be against Washington. Again, the Lions to start 5-0. I think they played Kansas City week 5, week 6, week 4. So again, that's what I like about that, because San Francisco is where the Super Bowl is at. So I think there's a real narrative for the Lions to start 5-0 this year. So that's why I like but I feel less confident about the Lions after the Micah Parsons trade. But I'm still going to back the Lions. But the easy game in the afternoon, San Francisco is going to beat the Seattle Rail Chicken Hawks. This is Fraud Purdy's 24th win in the regular season. This has to be a lock. His first playoff win was against the Seahawks, and he's beating Seattle. It's common sense. It's a new quarterback. Sam Darnold was a fraud. He couldn't handle the pressure towards the last few weeks of the season. Can he handle a team like San Francisco? No. Are the 49ers going to be healthier in week 1 compared to midway through the season? They'll be healthier week 1. So 49ers going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. There's no DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. There's no Metcalf. It's common sense. The 49ers are going to beat the Seattle Rail Chicken Hawks. I'd be very surprised if 49ers lose. Detroit will be a coin flip. If Lions win, then lots of money will be on the Lions to win the Super Bowl already. We could see money flow on the Packers if they beat the Lions week 1. So is it plausible for the Packers to win week 1? Yes, it can be plausible. But at the end of the day, if all the early money's on the Packers, then Lions are going to be in the Super Bowl. They're going to beat the Packers in the playoffs. This Lions-Packers reminds me of 49ers Seahawks during Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh day. What do you have? You've got 2 established quarterbacks. You've got a quarterback who played in the Super Bowl. You have the richest quarterback in the league, Jordan Love. You've got 2 elite pass rushers, Aiden Hutchinson, and you have Micah Parsons. You have Josh Jacobs on the Packers. You have Montgomery on the Lions. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver. Lions-Packers is going to be blockbuster NFL playoff matchup. Most popular team, the team America loves to love. America loves getting behind underdogs. America loves the Detroit Lions. in the Packers always have a following. So it's going to be box office. I think this Lions Packers rivalry has a lot of promise for this upcoming season. And I just think that the home fans have to see the victory over the Packers. So I got the Lions winning the division. I guess now the Packers are the favorite to win the division, but it's meaningless. In my view of Micah Parsons, he's a great pass rusher, but he's soft defending against the run. The Packers can't stop the run. Micah Parsons is great in obvious passing situations, but Micah Parsons is not a run-stopping defender. So there's a weakness on Green Bay is that Micah Parsons is not an all-around defensive end like Aiden Hutchinson. He can get pushed around in the run game. The Packers, out of all teams, should know this after seeing how they ran up their ass against Dallas in the postseason a couple seasons ago. I agree, Nick. I agree. I've got the Ravens beating because it kind of works in reverse. So Mahomes always wins in the playoffs, but it seems like Josh Allen always beats him in the regular season. And this already has happened between Lamar and Allen. He always beats him in the playoffs. He's 2-0 against Lamar in the playoffs, Josh Allen. In the regular season, it is a different story. Lamar is 3-1 in the regular season against the Bills. And both of them are Super Bowl contenders. So I expect the Ravens to win the primetime matchup week 1. Could the NFL MVP be a member of the Ravens in 2025 NFL season? Lions were the most bet on team to win the Super Bowl in 2024. But then when I look at 2025, I'm looking at the gematria of the owners of the Lions. Martha Ford, the Ford family in 2025, in a season that begins and is played predominantly in 2025. That's the year the Lions make it to the Super Bowl. And you just have to go to the San Francisco Bay video. It seems like the Lions have got all the gematria with that. But then Packers is 28 in Super Bowls on February the 8th. So am I going to completely write off the Packers? No, I'm not. But I think I've got Lions at number 1 to win the NFC, the Packers at number 2, and the Eagles at number 3. Because we like seeing different teams. Not so much in the AFC because they're the dynasty of this decade, but in the NFC, we see different teams make it to the Super Bowl on a year-to-year basis. Well, Joe Burrow struggles against the Browns typically. He's 3-6 against the Browns. He was 1-6, so I think he won his last 2 matchups against the Browns, including Week 17, Week 18 of last year. If you stop Myles Garrett and he doesn't force any turnovers, then this could be an easier game. But if you allow him to make a difference by fumbling the ball, losing field position, it doesn't have to be that way. You got a game plan to beat Myles Garrett. Double block, chip block, running back. That's how you stop this guy. Tight end, right tackle, double team. You neutralize Myles Garrett. It's a breather over the Browns. I know they always have tough defenses, but it's Joe Burrow. He's the best quarterback in football. 43 touchdowns, and how many yards did he throw? 4,800 last year. 5-0 run to end the season. The Bengals have momentum. They won their last 5 games of the season. They beat the Steelers. I think one of the last games is against the Cowboys. They're terrible. They're not making no playoffs this year, the Dallas Cowboys. They're getting steamrolled by the Cardinals and Texas native Kyler Murray on national TV. I'll be stunned if that game doesn't end with the Eagles winning in double digits. This is the gimme game. Friday, everyone's gonna bet on the Chargers because these guys got blown out in the Super Bowl and they're ready to. Oh, well, not so fast here. When was the last time the Chiefs failed to win double-digit wins? When has Patrick Mahomes ever finished the regular season without double-digit wins? So because of that, I have to go with the Chiefs to win Week 1. Because 40-0 against the Eagles, everyone ready to hate on Kansas City. Oh, I'm tired of hearing about Travis Kelsey and Taylor Kelsey. Okay, she Taylor Kelsey right now. What we kidding? She ain't no Taylor Swift anymore. They getting married. They getting the ring on their finger. Now that's a crazy baseball game. It was 3-0 Braves, right? Top of the first inning, 3-0. Then the bottom of the first inning, the Phillies score 5 runs. And then they just pile the runs on. And then they got swept by the Mets. That's the kind of game that baseball is. Like very subtle momentum swings. That's what we're seeing right here from that game. The subtle momentum swings in real time right now. If I had to guess, most of the public would be betting on Texas because of Arch Manning. Vegas talks. Both favorites on ESPN not going to win tonight, you see, because South Florida got the upset. If there's one game that's going to fuck people up, it's all the people that hate Ohio State. I'm not going to let them get to my emotions. The fan side of me is rooting for Texas, but Ohio State's going to win because they first tough. Can he handle the pressure? Can he handle the SEC? Da, 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 da. So I think Arch Manning is going to prove the doubt as well. I think Texas is going to have a great season. They could lose the first game and win the SEC. It's what I'm talking about. I don't think Peyton Manning won his first start. I think Peyton Manning never won the national title. In fact, Tennessee won the national championship the very year after Peyton Manning got drafted. So he's looking to be the first Manning to win a national title. But then he won't be drafted until after his senior year at Texas. So he's going to be there for another 1, 2, 3 seasons. Because the philosophy is he's going to enjoy the college experience. He's going to perfect his craft before he enters the professional game. Use all the time, the abundance. Time is money. Time itself is money. Don't rush it to the NFL. You can keep on learning how to be a pro set quarterback. Mature, develop. All these kind of intangibles. Don't rush going to the NFL. Continue to develop for 3 years before even reaching the NFL. And then you're getting paid in college anyways. It's not like you're not getting paid. Stay in college. Earn the dough. continue to develop. You come into the NFL a much more developed player than otherwise when college athletes were not getting paid. Oh, yeah, those are the three major games. Notre Dame could lose, but I think Miami are soft. It's the New York Jets. They're not beating Aaron Rodgers. They're the butt of the joke in the AFC. How many years without a playoff berth? They were the problem. Aaron Rodgers was good statistically, but the problem is the Jets are dysfunctional, bunch of hot garbage. They fail to get the guy a proper offensive line. Steelers ain't losing at New York. The New York Jets are a joke. Aaron Rodgers, he shows the New York Jets what a sorry joke they all are. And Justin Fields sucks. He only gets field goals. He's barely a game managing quarterback. He was awful. What the hell are the New York Jets doing? The offense came to life with Russell Wilson. Justin Fields, all he did was don't fuck it up. Let the defense win. Don't fuck it up. He didn't fuck it up. He played the role of game manager. But are you gonna win games for the Jets? No, he's not. He's another failed Ohio State quarterback. C.J. Stroud was good. Okay, he was good. Troy Smith, he didn't develop. Ohio State quarterbacks, by and large, are busts on the NFL level. Is Watt healthy? The kid's gonna fumble. He's gonna get a pre-turnover. It doesn't have to be hard. It's great odds on the Steelers. I think they get a defensive touchdown week 1. But yeah, the Bears and the Vikings, it's again common sense. Rookie quarterback on the road, national TV. He was a mediocre game managing quarterback. Speaking of game managing quarterback, J.J. McCarthy was nothing special at Michigan. Basically, his job was not to fuck it up. Don't turn it over. Running game, defense, we not gonna beat ourselves. J.J. McCarthy is not a starting quarterback on the NFL level. He's not even a first-round talent. Caleb had rookie moments, but he got his 3,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Chicago Bears should be better. You got rid of Eberflus. He was the problem. He was the scapegoat. It's common sense. So again, Kevin McConnell, his 18th regular season loss against the Bears. Bears is 18. The bottom line is it's a whole new season. Different teams make it to the playoffs. The Vikings start out 0-1 after finishing, what did they finish? 15-2, 15-3, or something like that. That's a whole new season. Cincinnati Bengals, their 33rd win since losing the Super Bowl at LA. Cleveland is 33. Kyler Murray, 36-45, win number 37. Then week two is Carolina. Carolina's 37. Panthers is 38. Saints are not beating the Cardinals. Cardinals, Panthers will be 50-50. In my view, I think the first loss is going to be against the 49ers. If I were to guess when my team's going to lose first, it's against the 49ers, but they typically struggle against the Panthers. They typically struggle at New Orleans. So who the hell knows? Travis Hunter is just one of these guys who you think is going to be explosive, going to make a difference. He needs wide receivers. He doesn't need Zay Jones, Trevor Lawrence. You need a real playmaker. That was a real game changer by Jacksonville. He can play cornerback. He can play wide receiver. He can return punts. This guy does it all, Travis Hunter. This is an all-around football player. Who's that guy on the Panthers? I have no fucking clue. I don't know how they beat us last year. Well, the Panthers finished what, 4-4 through the last 8 games. The Panthers did good. They were playing 500. They got some momentum entering this year. But the point is, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, you're not losing the one possession game. Jacksonville's gonna beat Carolina, win the home game. And honestly, the game week one where I don't feel the very best on is the Lions Packers game. That game is going to determine the winner of the Lions Packers. The money is going to start flowing on that team. Lions play the Eagles in November. So could that be a narrative of who gets number one seed, Eagles or Lions? That's what I think about when I think about the Lions Eagles November matchup. Now, the Lions Eagles November matchup, I got to go with the Eagles to win that particular game. Because it means the Eagles are on the front foot. Eagles Packers rematch, and who knows if Jordan Love had injured wide receivers. So if Jordan Love, his wide receivers are healthy against the Eagles, the Packers can beat the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles to beat the Chiefs, and we all start talking. They're the Eagles, the next dynasty, and they're going back to back. NFL is entertainment. We all want to see the Cowboys be the biggest laughing stock in football. That is an easy game. It's they're gonna destroy them. They're gonna win that game like it ain't no tomorrow. What I mean by that, Cowboys getting destroyed by 17 points. Suddenly, will people start betting on the Giants to win week two? Is how I look at that. They are the Dallas Cowboys. They are not terrible, but they're mediocre. They stay around 500. They don't make it past the divisional round. So if we stick with the pattern on the Cowboys, they probably do beat the Giants. But who knows if the Giants' losing streak against the Cowboys ends this year? This could be the year that the Giants do beat the Cowboys. When do they win? That's a whole other different question. Week two or later on in the season. Wasn't week two at Arlington? So I think Cowboys will probably lose at New York, I think. If Jameis play that game, I'm going Giants beat the Cowboys for the second game. Now, the Chargers almost came away with the win at Arrowhead, but then their field goal kick and hit off the goal post. It's going to be a close game against the Chargers. Now, the Chargers did lose their left tackle. There's some questions there. Their wide receiver, their draft pick, he had a little holdout, whatever. Well, but Chargers had a good preseason. Maybe people just bet on the Chargers because of how well they did in preseason. But preseason it's meaningless. Let's not forget the Browns and the Lions both finished winless after going undefeated in the preseason. 2008 Lions 4-0 in the preseason, finished 0-16. Cleveland Browns, they finished undefeated in the preseason. I think it was 2017, where they finished 0-16. They finished 0-16. So yeah, I just think the Chiefs, they played the backups, even though they blew the leads against the Cardinals and the Bears. Maybe the Chiefs' third string is terrible, but that doesn't mean their second string is going to be terrible. It's hard to make the team like Kansas City. It's a dynasty. You've got an established roster. Pretty much their priority during the preseason was just stay healthy. So the preseason is meaningless. The Lions wanted to stay healthy. The Chiefs wanted to stay healthy. They're both healthy before the season. Lots of playoff games. It takes a toll on these players on Kansas City. Detroit, after all the BS with all the injuries on the defense, they just didn't want to continue the bullshit with the injuries. They just wanted to be as healthy as can be. I think health is the biggest difference maker for Detroit. That's the thing about the NFL. Any given year, anybody can have good or bad luck with injuries. Who's going to have to luck with the injuries between the Packers and the Lions? 34-7. Man, Notre Dame's going to hopefully we destroy Boise State next week. I think this is a pro set quarterback on Nebraska. I think he's the real deal. That's just my view. He was a highly rated quarterback. He joined Matt Rule because he coached in the NFL. It's about being as NFL ready as can be. So I think the kid on Nebraska sees the big picture. That it's not about winning national titles. It's about being as NFL ready as can be. So that quarterback was his name Ripien? Search a Nebraska quarterback. Rayola, that's his name. Whereas number 15, like Patrick Mahomes, I think the Cardinals should draft this guy if he's available in the first round to replace Kyler Murray. Playoffs or no playoffs, I believe the midget cannot win a Super Bowl. He's good enough to qualify for a playoff berth, but he's not good enough to qualify for the Super Bowl. He plays too much video games. but he has the best tight end in football, Trey McBride. Over 100 catches, but he didn't catch a fucking touchdown pass until December. Whose fault is that? Oh, the midget quarterback. What a joke. Top 5 running back in football. You have DeAndre Hopkins. This motherfucker gets all the help. Whoop! Call the ball! You don't have a running number 2 wide receiver. Get the fuck out of town. He had DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald. 2021. Cardinals started 8-1. 7-0 losing against the Packers. Kyler is 12. If you can't win with the Hall of Fame wide receiver's son, Marvin Harrison Jr., you ain't no nothing. Kyler Murray, you ain't no nothing. Kyler Murray. I don't like the attitude. I don't like the arrogance. I don't need to get good. I don't have any accuracy problems. He says the damn big. I've had enough. This team would win the Super Bowl if they had Joe Burrow throwing to frickin' Trey McBride, the top 5 running back in football, James Conner. How many of them quarterbacks would die to have DeAndre Hopkins? To have the best running. I don't know if we need Derrick Henry the best running back, but James Conner's top 5. You never hear about him because he plays on this team and he's not in the playoffs and he's not playing on national TV. But James Conner's a top 5 running back in NFL. Trey McBride had over 110 catches for a tight end. He's got the toys. He has the toys. Problem is the midget quarterback. He doesn't suck. I think he's good enough to make the playoffs. But is he going to win the Super Bowl? You're not going to win the Super Bowl. Cincinnati and Nebraska just started. Travis Kelce played for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Is Matt Rule a fraud? We will have to find out. We have to find out. Nice play by the defensive back. He did a great job. Let's go Nebraska. Yeah, I don't know how to tackle. Get off him. What's the deadest program in college football? Miami, Nebraska's a pretty dead program. There's nothing to do in Nebraska except watch college football. 90,000 roaring fans in the prime time. The smoke that went off before kickoff. Big third season from Matt Rule. You have to be somewhat in Big Ten contention with this pro skill set starting quarterback you have in Raiola. Now it's the first third down that Nebraska's facing on defense. I don't like giving away field position early in the game. What's the penalty on? Cincinnati had a pretty good program. That's where Brian Kelly was at before he joined Notre Dame. False start. That will go back. It is third and long. Yep, good call. He did flinch. Nice acceleration, closing in, anticipating the play before the snap. Number 37 gets him for a loss. It's fourth down, and they punt the ball. And I'm excited to see how Rayola, how much he's progressed from year one. I think that I think this was a Las Vegas game between USF and Boise State. I think Boise State threw the game. If that theory is true, then Boise State will keep it close at South Bend next week. Don't try to outdo Nebraska with your red uniforms. Watch out and run right now. Your call. Your call. How do you guys like the week one predictions? Which part of them do you agree with? Do you like the format? I listen. The one guy was talking, Kansas City Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers, and then, 4 runs for Klaus. What? Okay. Yeah, how's the Gamache community been like? Obviously, had the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, and then that didn't help at all. The Gamache community is disappeared. It looks like the Gamache community disappeared. Now, there's both good and bad for the Gamache community disappearing. Your opportunist Patreon network, they're clearly not good. People looking for a quick buck, we weed out those people. And there's a matter of timing differences. So the accuracy rate is not where it's desired to be at, really. But I think there's some positive things that we have developed from this. Number one is that the Bills, I knew, were not winning the Super Bowl. And the first time they ever picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl is next year. Be interesting to see where the direction of that Ravens Bills game takes us. If the Bills have an off year, no one's going to think they're going to win next year. What kind of throw was that, Dominic? Come on. Come on. What kind of throw was that? That's a pretty good running play right there. There's a predictable draw, but running back made it happen there. I don't like the all red on Cincinnati. They should wear black. Like, make it easy to identify the opponent. It just looks bad when both teams are wearing red like this. Not really a fan of it. Third and four. Nice job by Rayola. He knew where the ball was going before the snap came. He knew where it was going. Could Nebraska be a contender in the Big Ten this year? They have a very NFL ready quarterback. Holding, blah, blah. That's what they'll call on the offense. Hurry up, ref. Hey! What the offense? What is that, ref? Yeah, dickhead! What did he do? Well, why? He barely touched him. He barely touched him. No! Dickhead refs. Awful ref. You're terrible. You're trash. He barely touched the other player. What were they calling with that BS there? What were they calling? That's what I like to know. That's not a bad play right there. It gets a field position. Your defense had a good first drive. Very patient. He got the whole football game. A BS penalty, obviously. Nebraska should score on their next drive. It was a BS penalty call more than anything. Ball at the 34-yard line for Cincinnati. It is always bowl season. I like LSU's quarterback too. He's another guy I think is a pro-ready quarterback. I think Clemson teams have been very underwhelming. The ACC has been weaker than previous seasons. The ACC is weak. Clemson can still win the conference even if they get blown out by Ellis. But the game is at Clemson, so they'll probably be close. Both teams have to punt the ball. It's a lot better than to see them score every play, to be honest. Arsenal should be able to get a result against Liverpool. I haven't broken down the game against Grimsley yet. That was a big result. That was a very big result. The game is at Brazil. Brazil people they like Patrick Mahomes because they're from outside the country, and if you're from England or Germany, oh, I like Tom Brady because he's the best player. I'm going to follow him. Some of the international fans they like Tom Brady. They like whoever's the face of the league. So Patrick Mahomes, he's winning that week too. That he's beating the Chargers. It's like no one cares about the Chargers in Brazil. So this is a Kansas City Chiefs show. You may give them a taste of division rivalry football, but the Chiefs are going to come through in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a dynamic, dramatic show. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to win the game. So Brazilians get the money of what to get their money's worth. Brazil saw the Super Bowl champion win their first game against Green Bay last year. And now, an AFC champion, up and coming Chargers team, the Chargers are going to beat the Raiders. I still think it's going to be a challenge for the Raiders to make the playoffs. I think it'll be a challenge. I still prefer Jim Harbaugh to Pete Carroll. I still prefer Herbert to Geno Smith. Nebraska defense, very quick to the ball, very quick to the ball, very quick, very quick. Nice run by the running back. But did he step out of bounds? I think he did step out of bounds. Fire Matt Rule if he nails his game. Nebraska still sucks. They're a dead program. They're terrible. They live in the 1990s. Miami, they live in the past too. They live in the past. Fuck Miami. We win it. I'll wear my Notre Dame shirt up into the commercial. Fuck Miami. I remember we destroyed Miami a couple of times during the 2010s. We were dominant in recent years. Notre Dame. Everyone loves to hate Notre Dame. Sunday, prime time. Prime time. Beating the convict ass, but Randy Ershaw. Basically, Miami, they lost the bad boy image mid to late 2000s. So they've been dead for over 15 years. And the ACC is weak. So how is Miami not taking advantage? These guys who would have went to Miami, they're going to Bama. They're going to LSU. They go into Tennessee. They're going to OSU. Miami has lost its edge from a recruiting standpoint. Nice job shutting down the run. Third down in Nebraska territory. Cincinnati in field goal range, but they have a short 4 or 5 yards to go. They can get the short pass in the flat for the first down. The hitch. Few ideas here from Miami here. Can the pressure get to it quickly? They've got 4 yards to go. No, you kick the field goal, you dumbass. You get the 3-0 lead. You don't need to go for it until the second, third, fourth quarter. Okay, if it's 1, 2 yards, maybe you got the choice to go for it. But then, who called a timeout? You're gay. Let the fans make some noise. Make them call the timeout. I wouldn't call the timeout there if I was Matt Rhule. You got to make the play here. You got no time to resettle and think. You got to play this out. A lot of question marks with the Notre Dame game. How is this grandson of Lloyd Clark going to do? How is Carson Beck going to do? How will he handle Notre Dame's defense? We usually kick Miami's ass. I know Carson Beck is supposed to be good, so I'm not 100% confident we're going to win. I feel good because we made it to the national championship game last year, but I feel good. But I know Carson Beck is supposed to be good, so I don't. But is he as good as Cam Ward? Maybe not as good as Cam Ward. We're about to find out. Miami's dead. Miami's dead. We beat him out. We beat him at Chicago. Forgot which year that was. Early 2010s. We beat him in the Sun Bowl. I think it was 2010 or something. I forgot. We lost 41-8 in 2017. Miami kicked Notre Dame's ass in 2017. Did Miami have a good season in 2017? Notre Dame have won 5 out of the last 7 games against Miami. Looks like Miami dominated the 80s, and Notre Dame they pretty much dominated the 70s. A little background on the Notre Dame-Miami series. Just the history of this rivalry, the Catholics and the convicts. That's what makes it a very special rivalry. Any fear for each other? I don't know. This was one of the biggest rivalries in college football during the days of Lou Holtz. be able to beat Miami at their house. I don't know when the last time that happened. We beat them at Chicago. We beat them at New Mexico in the Sun Bowl. We lost in 2017. When's the last time Notre Dame won at Miami? Not a good history away. Last away win was 1977. It'd be a historic win for Notre Dame if they beat Miami. Bad false start. That cannot happen. Fourth down, field goal try. Will they go for it? Or are they going to kick the field goal? You moron! Kick the field goal. You're a jackal commentator. He almost missed the kick. Jerry Jones is senile. Those draft picks could get us top Pro Bowl players. He reminds me of one thing. Al Davis of the mid to late 2000s. I think we are at this point with the Dallas Cowboys. Elite quarterback play from Tony Romo cannot cover the cracks anymore. Mike McCarthy cannot cover the cracks of the Cowboys anymore. Look at that running back go. He gets rid of the ball pretty quickly, Rayola. He knows where to go before the ball is snapped. I like this guy on Nebraska. He's a top recruit. He knows how to get the ball out quickly. I don't know if I'll be live for Milan in Lecce. It's a former look of Massimiliano Allegri and our own Christian Pulisic. Look at him, captain of the U.S. national team. It's a very big game for Milan. Top four in Scudetto, dropping points against the newly promoted Cremonese. It looks like Rayola is not the best scrambler. I didn't look at him as a scrambler. I look at him as a guy who can extend plays, but he's not a guy who's going to take off and run with the ball. I want to be number 15 so badly. I want to be Patrick Mahomes. Are you Patrick Mahomes? The ability to extend the plays a little more. I don't think we see Patrick Mahomes in this guy yet. He knew where the ball was going before the snap. He knew where to go. This guy knows how to make the quick plays right there. He knows what to do. No trick plays. I mean, there's nothing fancy about Nebraska's play calling. We haven't seen any trickery yet. We've seen the fake punt in the South Florida, Nebraska, and the South Florida Boise State game. But are we going to see any trickery here? We have to find out. We have to find out.
Dante Corleone. Hey, Viola. That only you live in an offering that he had no shot. What to expect? Dante Corleone forces to do the field goal again.
Dominic Raiola.
After the Colonel made his hot and spicy wings, he needed the perfect pairing. So he invented the potato. When you heat that up, it's true. The Colonel lived so he could chicken. That 5 cents of demand, KFC wings and wings.
Want me to take that for you? The only thing you brought up is when you help the young homeowner I need the town. Okay, everybody, big smile. Very good. Okay, almost. One more mistake. There you go. All right, let's do a fun one. Hold up the building front of you. Hold up the building. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Y'all know each other. Friends, right? Okay, everybody jump in here at the same time. Oh, no, I didn't get it. All right, from the top.
When the Iron speaks. So, Lady River.
Oh, let's jump in.
We're learning. It's time to escape to the Great Life. Now this is the Great Life. An incredible new great syrup and only with Millie's and Crusoe. When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the cold. The cold laundry, cold filters, cold packaging. Now people will say, here we go. Here we go. Big Six for $19.99, a perfect deal for two. Okay, fine. How about punching out Big Six without doing People always staring at my newspaper flat. David, so surprised that you didn't know I rap flat. Big Six meals for two for $19.99. How are people 60 and older spending their free time? Building Veronica.